no see. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen me a little bit, but if not, yeah, I haven't really been active on here. A lot has been going on, but I don't even want to focus on all that. I just want to jump right back into it. I do want to say that I hope everybody is safe and sound and with their families during this pandemic. We're dealing with two pandemics right now, coronavirus and racism. So yeah, I just hope everybody is full of love, acceptance, and with their loved ones, and safe, healthy, and just, you know, doing the best they can in times like these, to be honest. But I just wanted to let y'all get to know me a little bit more, myself, my being, and what goes on with me. So I want to give y'all a story time today. This story time is a near-death experience, and it has to do with allergies. I am a person who battles with allergies a lot. I have a long list, like a laundry list of the things I am allergic to. Some of them are skin irritations, some of them are mild irritations, like maybe a throat itch or hives and stuff, and some of them are anaphylactic, which can result in the closing of the throat, and yeah. So I'm gonna just jump right into this story time, you guys. So I used to work for this grocery store. It's not even, I don't know if you would call it a grocery store. I used to work for this company. They sold groceries, they sold clothes and stuff, whatever. They sold a lot of different stuff. But within this store, they had a Starbucks. So I worked at that Starbucks. Now, when I was initially interviewed for this, this was not the position I was, aiming for. This is not what they called me back for. This isn't even the application I filled out for. But turns out the day I got hired, they fired. Well, no. The girl walked out. Cleaned out the Starbucks or whatever. So they needed somebody to fill that position now. And then my little behind went over there for my interview for a different position. And they needed somebody over there. So they put me over there. I was like a little pawn in their hands, okay? But yeah, they hired me on for Starbucks. I have never worked with coffee. I didn't have any interest in coffee. I had never really drank coffee, but it was a job nonetheless. So I agreed to the position, and she gave me a little walkthrough of Starbucks and a little walkthrough of their menu. Now, initially, when I was looking at their menu, I did see a certain drink. It was the Cloud Macchiato. And I was like, oh, I'm allergic to that. They had egg powder in it. So I knew I was allergic to eggs. Now, my first reaction with eggs was when I was I would say 6 or 8. And it was really a stomach reaction. It wasn't an anaphylactic reaction at all. It was just stomach, real upset, inflamed stomach lining. It's the same thing. Bananas does that to me too. And I didn't realize until that day, well, not even until that day of me looking at the menu, but the day I had the reaction. I didn't realize that reactions over time, or allergies over time, get worse. So just because some started out with just making my stomach react or upsetting my stomach, now as I grow older, it's a worse reaction. It's not just staying the same. Allergies don't stay the same. They kind of mutate and grow with you as you grow. So I was under the impression that yes, I was allergic to these things, but it wasn't a life or death situation. It was just a real uncomfortable situation. It was a I'll be sick that day situation, kind of, yeah. So I just knew to avoid it. Like I said, my allergies range from less severe to super severe. So this to me was an allergy that I was super aware of, but it wasn't as severe as a shellfish allergy that I would know definitely to avoid, because it can mess with my throat. It can make my throat close up. So when I started working there, I was struggling really, really bad. I don't know anything about coffee. This menu is so extensive, and it's just certain things are the same, but then it's one ingredient different or 2 ingredients different. It was just a lot for me. And I'm the type, when I am introduced to something, I want to be the best at it, basically, or I want to catch on quick. I don't like feeling slow in certain things, in anything really. In my school, the subjects a lot of subjects came easy to me in school. So whenever I was faced with something that didn't come easy to me, I didn't want to do it. I was so spoiled and stuff just coming easy to me and me understanding right away. So once that didn't occur, I didn't want to do it at that point. I was like, you know what? screw this subject, right? Like, I don't have time for this. This is stupid, because I couldn't catch on quick, and I was so used to catching on quick. So that's kind of how I felt with this job. Like, I was not getting it. I was struggling, and I was getting looked at as a weak link, even though it was like, I was only there for like, 2 days, and I was already feeling like, oh no, I gotta prove myself. So the weekend came, and I decided to like really study hard. Like, I wrote notes, and I wrote cliff notes, and I wrote footnotes. I wrote notes, okay, in this little notebook of these coffees, all these coffees. And I was like, I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna knock their socks off. I'm gonna wow them, and then I'm gonna get a promotion, and then I'm gonna be the one that y'all asking to how to do this and that, and y'all been here for years. That like, I was pressed on proving myself, right? Because that's just how I am when something doesn't come easy to me. So the day comes, and I'm going pretty good. Like, it's 3 hours in, it's going smooth, everything's going fine. I'm slinging these drinks, and if it's like I'm hiccuping a little bit, it's not that bad. Like, it's not like I got a long line over to China or something where I can't handle it, like the customers aren't being built up. Like, I'm getting this done. So I was pretty happy. And then this lady comes up, and she orders a cloud macchiato. Again, in the rush, I really wasn't thinking about my allergies at all. I'm not going to say I was. But I was also, when it did occur to me while I was making it, I was like, yeah, I'm not drinking it. I'm not, like, it's not going into me. I should be fine. You know what I'm saying? And even if it did go into me, it would have been a stomach ache. My stomach might have swelled a little bit, but it wouldn't have been nothing crazy, right? So, again, I wasn't really thinking about any of that during that time. I was just making her drink. The first time I made it, it was fine. I tried to refill the egg powder because it was running low. So I refilled it. And the girl who had just came in, she was like, oh no, you can't refill it like that. You have to rinse out the container and then fill it. So I'm already like mid pour of the powder. So I kind of tilted. And I'm like, oh my bad. Because I'm like ready. I'm not messing up today. I'm not messing up today. So I was like, I got you. Like, positive attitude, everything. So from me walking with the thing in my hand, the container of the powder in my hand, to the sink, I start sneezing really, really bad. Like, really bad, to the point where globs or snot is running down my face, down my chin. And I'm just thinking, I'm just sneezing. Nothing, I don't know what I was thinking about, y'all, because nothing occurred to me that this was about to be what it was. Okay? So I'm like, okay. Like, I'm trying to get over these sneezes, because I have sneeze attacks. Like, I have allergies. I have sneeze attacks. I'm not used to sneeze attacks. So to me, that's what it was. So I'm just like, trying to get it under control, but this sneeze attack is lasting a bit. So then it's like getting worse, and the snot and the mucus is just pouring out of me. So I leave the container, and I'm going to the little section. I'm covering my face because it's gross. Now I'm going to the section with the hand washing and the napkins. So I'm grabbing napkins, and I got it to my nose, and I'm still like and I'm like, okay, this is bad, and I can't control it. So I start trying to leave out there. You know how they have like the little half swinging door. I'm like trying to go through that, and the guy, he's trying to come through or whatever, and I'm like, excuse me, with the napkin still at my face. So he's like, sorry, blah blah blah, and he like kind of goes this way. And so I go to the bathroom, and I close the stall door. When I close the stall door, shit hit the fan. Okay? Now, to this point, I'm just sneezing and all that, I can't get a grip on it, though. When I closed that door, shit hit the fan. Okay, y'all? Like, the whole fucking stall was just like, I thought I was gonna fall. I thought I was gonna fall out. And when I felt that, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm having an allergic reaction. And I'm pretty sure it's a severe one. Okay, so now I'm panicking. I'm trying to get my phone out. I'm looking at my phone. I can't see really. Like, it's blurry. Like, I can't really type and stuff. So I'm freaking out. Like, at this point, I realized I couldn't save myself. Like, you know, I would have to get some kind of help. I couldn't call anybody. Yeah, I couldn't see for real. So I rush out the stall, and there's a lady. She's washing her hands, and she's looking in the mirror. And I'm, like, grabbing onto her shoulders. And I was, like, gasping, like, help me, help me. Help me. That's all I could really gasp. And she was like, whoa, hold on, da, da, da. And I just kind of push past her, and I look in the mirror, and I look at my throat, and my throat's starting to get really weird. My uvula is look like it's shrinking, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm really about to die, like I'm dying. And so I rush out of the stall I rush out of the bathroom, and I grab a cashier, because like I said, I'm in a store, and the store happened to have a Starbucks. So the floor I'm at now is like, it's like buku cashiers. I grab him, and I'm like, help me, I can't breathe. Help me, can't breathe. Like, that's all I could really say. And he was like, oh my gosh, like what, like he kept saying what. At this point, I'm like, bro, like nobody's gonna help me. Like, this is how I'm gonna go out. So I go down on the floor. I don't pass out yet, but I like lay down on the floor. That's all I could do. So I see him calling. He calls the head people of the store. He calls 911. He calls the pharmacist in the store. So he was doing stuff. He was just trying to tell me to calm down. But in that state, I really just thought I wasn't going to get help. Like, you know, it was just, everybody was in full-blown panic mode. It was a scary situation. So he's describing me to them on the phone. And he was like, her whole body is red. She's sweating so much. And she really can't verbalize like that. So now, like, he's making me aware of me. You know what I'm saying? Because by the time allergic reactions happen like this. So by the time I had looked in the mirror, I wasn't sweating and stuff yet. My heart rate was going fast and my throat was shrinking a bit. But I wasn't sweating, and I didn't look a different color to me. Maybe I wasn't even aware, but to me, I didn't look a different color. By the time I went out there and I laid down on the floor, I was red. I was just, my whole body was red. Like, I was on fire. I was so hot. I knew I was hot, but I was pouring sweat to the point where, like, my shirt was sticking to my back, and like, it was bad. My body's going into anaphylactic shock. So he calls everybody that he has to call, and the nurse comes, and she's like, she has an EpiPen by her, and she has a box of Benadryl by her. And she was not trying to give me this EpiPen. I don't care. She was not trying to give me this EpiPen. Now, people who don't know about EpiPens are expensive, even with insurance. Sometimes insurance only covers half, so you're still paying like a good $300. Sometimes it's like $180. It really depends on who you're with, and all that. I was lucky enough to get mine free, and I was super shocked by it. But EpiPens are expensive, so. And it's only one shot. It's not like there's a couple of dosages in one EpiPen. So there's only one dosage, and she was not trying to use that on me at all. So she ended up giving me 4 Benadryls. That accelerated my heart rate so quick, and I was able to yell at her and ask her, why do I feel worse? At this point, I'm a fragile person whose life is in your hands. And it just kind of scared me that I saw the EpiPen by her, and she was not trying to give it to me. And that already made me not trust her. And then the fact that she gave me 4 Benadryl and my heart immediately jolted, I freaked out. So I yelled at her. And her eyes are just wide, but she's still not giving me the EpiPen. I was able to swallow the pills, surprisingly. There could have been a chance that I wouldn't have been able to swallow that, and I would have just choked, so that would have been on her as well. But I was able to swallow it. The lady from the bathroom turned out to be a nurse. Thank you so much. You helped me so much that day. I know you're not watching, and if you are, the universe is a weird place, right? But yeah, she stayed on the floor with me. She was really on the floor with me, holding my hand, helping me how to breathe throughout this, you know, because at this point my breaths were real ragged. I really couldn't do it, and every breath took a lot out of me to get yeah. So they called the paramedics. The paramedics finally come, and they were super, super nice. And they were yelling at the pharmacist. Before he administered the EpiPen, he asked, did I have anything else in my system? And she admitted to giving me 4 Benadryls. I don't know the proper protocol with that, but they seemed to be really mad at the amount of Benadryl she gave me in the state that I was in. They were yelling at her like, why would you give her 4? Why would you do that? Why didn't you use the EpiPen? Like, every concern I had that I couldn't verbalize, they said. So I knew, you know, I know I'm not crazy. And yeah, but they brought an EpiPen. Obviously, they had some on hand for the job they're in. And I guess also, just to be called for this emergency, you're under the impression that there is no EpiPen for me, you know, in the area that I'm in. So for him to see it and for her to choose Benadryl over that, when that Benadryl could have probably not helped me and really didn't help me in the state I was in, he was a little shocked. But they administered the EpiPen that they brought. That was embarrassing. He was like, okay, listen, you have to, I was leaning on his leg to get a little bit more breath. He told me to lean on his leg. And then he was like, I need you to lay down now. And then he was like, and I need you to pull your pants down a little bit. I was like, at this point I can't talk. You know what I'm saying? I really can't talk. So I'm just kind of shaking my head. And he's like, I know, but you really do need to pull your pants down. That's the only way I can administer it. So he was like, just pull it down to, I had to pull it down to about right here, you guys. You got to put it in your thigh. So I had to pull it down. Now, just a little backstory, y'all. This is my freaking 3rd day at this new job, at this new place, and now my booty's out.
The fuck? The fuck is in the air?
Like, obviously I had underwear on and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Like, your thighs, your cheeks, like, they're out. They're out. Like, hey, everybody, I barely know y'all, but here's my cheeks and my thighs. Yeah, cool beans, bro. So, I obviously pulled my pants down because, hello, I gotta live. I would like to live. And if this can save me, because at this point I really didn't think I was, you know, gonna be saved. And that Benadryl did shit to nothing, really. So I'm like, okay. So I wiggle my pants down and stuff, and I'm laying down on my side, and he swings it, and boom. And it was like a jolt of air just went into my body, and yeah, I was able to breathe. So I just remember, like, as soon as he put it in me, it was like, you know, inhale, exhale. So I was super grateful after that. So they're still going off on her about it while they're strapping me up in the ambulance. They're still going off on the pharmacist about the 4 Benadryls. And he straps me up in the stretcher. They take me down the escalator, which is really where I never had to be on a stretcher going down an escalator. That was an experience. All of this was really an experience. And then they take me outside, and then they put me in a truck. So even with anaphylactic reaction, even after the antihistamines, even after the EpiPen, you have to go to the hospital. Go to the hospital. If you got administered EpiPen, go to the hospital still, because there's certain things that can still occur. So when I got to the hospital, I finally was able to call my girlfriend. Throughout that whole time of me having a reaction on the floor, I was trying to reach my phone. I really couldn't dial. I really couldn't do much. I didn't understand what I was seeing on my phone. My body was shutting down. Your brain need oxygen, your blood need oxygen. I was losing oxygen. And when I was trying to talk, the paramedics was telling me not to, because everything I was, every time I tried to talk, I was losing oxygen. He was like, you barely have it. You need to conserve what you have, which was super scary. So I couldn't get in touch with her. But finally, when the EpiPen was in me and, the Benadryl started working, now that I'm good on the EpiPen, I was able to call her, and she always says that when I call her, she's nervous, that something's wrong, that it's an emergency. So I got into the habit of calling her just to check up on her, like while she's at work. It's not like any time I call, but like while she's at work or while she's out doing something and I call, she tends to get worried. She just worries about me. But, so I try to make it a habit to just randomly call for just hi, like shooting the breeze type stuff. So when I called and she was calm and didn't think anything was wrong, and then I say, I'm in the hospital, that kind of, all the work I did to ease her mind over the past couple of months, it just went out the window. She's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I had an allergic reaction. My throat was closing. They gave me this. They gave me an EpiPen, and now I'm in the hospital. And it was explained to me that they wanted to monitor me for about 2 hours within the hospital because there is a chance after you have an anaphylactic reaction, even when it's treated, that it can come back after a couple of hours of everything wearing off on you. So, yeah, even though you're not around the allergen anymore, you didn't do anything to interact with the allergen anymore, it can still come back. And that is scary. Thankfully, it has never happened to me. I have never had another allergic reaction on top of one that's been treated. And yeah, that never occurred to me, but it has happened. So they just wanted to monitor me. They kept joking, like, I can't believe she gave you 4 Benadryl. I was like, you're about to sleep good tonight. Now we can laugh because I'm alive and I'm fine. And he did let me know that I was about a couple of minutes away from dying. I don't know why paramedics do that. Let people know stuff like that. It's kind of daunting, but I mean, it doesn't hit the same when you survive. So, I wasn't super emotional. I mean, I was emotional, period, but I wasn't super like, why would you tell me that, like, I was about to die? Because I was aware, like, I felt that, like, I knew that, you know what I'm saying? So when he told me, it was just kind of matter-of-factly, and it was just letting me know how severe allergies can get and how quickly people need to react. So it was just kind of a bad decision on her part not to administrate the EpiPen sooner. I just learned a lot, and I told him, like, I knew I was allergic to eggs, but I didn't think I was that allergic, and he was like, over time, your allergies will get worse. So however you reacted to it years ago is probably not how you're going to react to it now. Certain things, you can't even cook it around me now because my throat will close up. You know what I'm saying? So that's just that on that. But a couple of hours passed. I was fine. I was good to go. And I got to go home. I was so loopy, y'all. I was so high on Benadryl. Like, I was just so out of it. And I slept so hard. Like, once it hit me, I really slept so hard. And I feel like my girlfriend just was like this the whole time I slept. I feel like she was just making sure, I was fine and stuff. I didn't realize how bad this had affected me later. Traumatic experiences do tend to stick with you, but I started to realize that I was kind of avoiding foods, period. I was kind of like, I had these irrational thoughts in my head, stuff that I been ate before and I knew I wouldn't have a reaction to. I was kind of like fearful. And I didn't have an EpiPen yet, so I felt not protected, you know what I'm saying? So I started to do little small stuff like carry Benadryl with me, and that kind of eased my mind, but not really, and I finally went ahead and got my EpiPen, so I'm really grateful and I'm really happy about that. You should know when to administrate an EpiPen, so sometimes you might be having a reaction, but it's not anaphylactic. You don't want to administer the EpiPen when you don't need it because the results can be fatal and it can be pretty bad. That's just like somebody who tries to give a dose of an EpiPen to somebody and they don't know how to do it, and then the needle makes a mistake and pricks them and stuff. An EpiPen is essentially adrenaline, so that, like, if they made a mistake and pricked their arm or their leg trying to give a shot to somebody else, that arm or leg might have to be, or most likely will have to be, amputated. So it's not a medicine to play around with. It really is a last resort kind of thing. So yeah, I just learned a lot about allergies and stuff, and I take it way more serious. Not that I never took it seriously. Like, I'm very cautious person. I don't eat everything, and I don't really eat from everybody's houses, because even if you are aware, some people are aware of people's allergies, but they're not aware of cross-contamination. Even now, like, I think I watched a video, a girl, like, she ate a Rice Krispie treat, but the package said that it was made in the same facility that did peanuts and stuff, and she's eaten them before where nothing has happened, and it's really like the luck of the draw with that. But like one day she ate one and it had interacted with peanuts, and like the bottom of it, she could kind of taste the peanut residue, and she had a reaction. So it's just certain things that you just have to be conscious of and cautious of. But yeah, y'all, that was my near-death experience. It was super, super scary. It was embarrassing, but I have survived, and I'm here. And, you know, I just, like I said, I'm just super cautious about stuff, and I don't eat from everybody, and I don't eat at every restaurant. And, yeah, and anybody who does interact with me, I let them know about my food allergies and all that. But I hope y'all learned a little bit about me. I hope I didn't scare y'all too much. Even though it was a traumatic experience, I hope it, like, entertained you, or, like, I don't know, kept your attention in some way. And, yeah, I just want to say, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comment down below about, you know, what you want to see from me, how everything's been with y'all. If you're back to work, tell me about that. How's it adjusting to this new way of living? Gotta wear a mask everywhere and stuff. Like, how's it going, y'all? I'm not at work yet, so there's that. But yeah, I'm glad to be back, y'all. I'll be back with more uploads, and I hope you enjoyed. Peace out. Oh, wait. And no matter how crowded the spot gets, there's always room for more. I haven't said that in a while. Okay, y'all. Don't forget to join Louise Spot. Love you guys. See you next video. Peace.